Yep, that's me in the pink bikini getting up on stage. And so all of the advice that I'm about to give you in this video comes from hard-earned experience, and the photo in the thumbnail, that is me as well. So I just want to preface this video by saying that when I use the word skinny, I don't mean you have to be so scrawny, so skinny, unnaturally thin. Skinny is whatever you want to be. This is your weight loss goal. And I also want to say that I don't judge you at any weight, at any size. I think you are beautiful and talented and gorgeous. You are the same at any weight. It doesn't diminish who you are. But of course, we live in a world that does value thinness, and 73% of you said on a little poll that I recently ran on my channel that you are struggling with your weight. Your weight is your biggest issue. And so I thought today we would go for another hot girl walk. So walk with me and I will tell you all of my skinny tips. Now, I'm not saying that I am super skinny. I have been a lot skinnier before, but I have managed to maintain my weight at a pretty decent level for the last couple of years, even through perimenopause, even through all my trial and errors with HRT. And so I've got some advice for you. Firstly, I want to say the one thing I never ever regret is going for a walk or a run or going to gym. There's not a single workout I've ever regretted, other than maybe when I was running with a running group, and sometimes we would train a lot. Some of those training sessions were a little bit tough on the body. And now I won't even say that I regret those. I can't say I regret them, but sometimes those got a bit tough. But in general, if you are debating going for your walk, your run, your cycle, your swim, just do it. Just go for it. And as I always say, the biggest thing when it comes to weight loss, of course, is to be in a caloric deficit. But don't think of a deficit as a negative thing. Think of your calorie budget that you get to spend every day. So for an average woman who's looking for some average weight loss, I'm going to just throw out a number. It may or may not be right for you, but around about 1,500 calories, you get to spend those every day. So spend them wisely. Now, if you just want to create a deficit and you don't care about maintaining your muscle mass, then don't worry about your protein intake. But if you want to get lean and you want to maintain your muscle mass, you must include enough protein in your day. The recommended amount is 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. I think that's a little bit low, and all the experts that I listen to all agree that one should bump that up. So all the recommendations across the board that I've come across, they average about 1 gram of protein per pound of ideal body weight. So what that means is that if you are currently, let's say, 150 pounds, but you want to drop down to 120 pounds, then your ideal body weight is 120 pounds. And so you would need 120 grams of protein. What that also means is that it's not 120 grams of steak or chicken breast or fish. It is 120 grams of actual protein in the protein source. And so in a 200-gram steak, I'll put on the screen here, you would get about, I think, 40 grams of protein. I'd have to Google it, but I'll put it on the screen. And so in your day, you want to add up to that ideal number. Don't worry if you don't hit it every single day. This is just an average to aim for. Some days you'll hit it, some days you'll fall short, some days you may overshoot, as long as it averages out in a week and you're there and thereabouts. For me, who is small and petite, I aim for around 100 grams of protein a day, but I must be honest, I don't hit it every day. So there are some days where I'm not even tracking, I'm not even worrying, but I know that overall, I'm always thinking protein first. And so I know that within a week, in general, I'm doing above the recommended amount of protein, and so I'm good to go. Now, the next thing I want you to consider is your fiber intake. Fiber, fiber, fiber. It's so important. It's important for your bowel health. It's important for overall health. Mortality rates go down in people who eat more fiber. It is filling. It helps regulate your blood sugar, and it feeds your good bacteria. So why wouldn't you want to increase your fiber? The easiest way, guys, to increase your fiber, ladies, is to just increase your vegetable intake. And the best part is that vegetables, especially the non-starchy vegetables like spinach and kale and broccoli and Brussels sprouts and green beans and asparagus and I can't think right now. There's a million and one interesting vegetables, aubergines and zucchinis and mushrooms and pak choi. All these vegetables you can include. You're increasing your fiber content. It's good for your overall health. Listen to the birds. And it's like free food almost. It's going to keep you feeling fuller. It's going to take up space in your gut, on your plate, and it's a win-win all around. Now, obviously, if you're trying to get lean, in shape, lose weight, get skinny, quote unquote, and again, I use the term loosely, please don't get bogged down in the word, you need to be active. Well, you don't need to be active. You can lose weight without exercising. Exercise does not equal weight loss, but exercise obviously helps. It allows you to eat a little bit more in the day. It burns calories. Of course it does, but of course exercise could make you hungrier. So if you don't want to eat to replace what you've just burned off with your exercise session, and exercise of course burns very little actually per session. What it does do though is it's so good for your mental health. You're either getting outside, seeing the sunshine, breathing in the fresh air, or you're at gym working your muscles, and that gives you a mental workout as well. I find that weightlifting makes me feel mentally stronger, and so the working out is good for your general health, it's good for your longevity, it's good for your overall morbidity, it's good for your bones, it's just good for your brain. I really think that the two go hand in hand. But of course, for pure weight loss, if you just want to lose weight, diet, diet, diet. If you want to be healthy, strong, fit, lean, with muscle tone, then you need to do both diet and exercise. And of course, exercise really improves the quality and the size of your muscles. And so then your muscles become glycogen sponges. They're soaking up all that sugar. And so that is another excellent reason to exercise. And now, what is the best exercise for weight loss? Well, it's the exercise that you will stick to. Whatever you find you can do consistently and with enthusiasm, that is what you need to do. I would recommend a combination of cardio and weights. What I do in a general week is I do about 4 to 5 days of weight training. I sort of split it up between my legs and my upper body, and then I'll go for maybe 1 or 2 runs a week. That really does depend. Lately I've been battling with my knee and my hip with the running, so like today, I'm just going to go for a walk so I don't aggravate my knee. In the past, I have done a lot more running. As I've said, I've run marathons before. However, I think that weight training, if I had to prioritize, I would prioritize weight training purely because as we age, ladies, our muscle mass does decline and decrease, and the quality of our muscle, well, we lose that sort of quality muscle. So I would prioritize weight training because during a weight session, you are getting a little bit of cardio. You can include a little bit of supersets, which is when you're just moving between 2 different exercises and you're not resting as much. But I would also include some cardio, and it can be slow, steady state cardio. And if you are short on time, just do a 20-minute cardio session and maybe a 40-minute weight training session. It doesn't need to take a long time. If you're really, really pressed for time, then I would say do 3 weight training sessions in a week, and that can be for 30 minutes each, and do 2 20-minute cardio sessions. That is if you're really pressed for time. And if you're even more pressed for time, just do what you can when you can. It really, really just boils down to what you can get around to, what's going to fit into your schedule. And if you're a busy parent, and I know I've been there, just do your best. Now, speaking of being a busy parent, don't forget that there is a lot of daily activity that can really add up and be included in your exercise quotient. Running after your kids, doing housework, if you have stairs in your house, going up and down your stairs, if you've got to carry things to your car, if you've got to unload your car, carry groceries, pack and unpack, bend down to pick up toys, carry your kids around, that all adds up. Now let's talk hydration. Stay hydrated, but obviously just drink to thirst. Don't overthink it. Don't try and hit a certain number in terms of your liquid that you are drinking in a day, because if you're sedentary, it could change. If it's very hot, that could change. If you're very active, that could change. Depending on how much salt or electrolytes you have, that could change. Just drink to thirst and make sure that your pee is the color of light lemon juice. Now, what about sleep and weight loss? Well, of course, as you know, a lot has been said about sleep lately on the internet. Sleep is important. Do your best. Do your best to get 7 to 8 hours or 6 or whatever you can. But again, if you have little kids at home, your sleep will be compromised. Don't stress about it. If you can, make up for it with a little nap, a short meditation session, a half an hour lie down in a quiet, dark room in the middle of the day just to restore yourself. I wouldn't worry about sleep as much as the experts go on and on about it. What can you do? You can only control what you can. Parents of children worldwide, no one gets sleep. So don't worry about it. I didn't sleep when my kid was young. Well, I slept, but obviously it wasn't quality, unbroken sleep. and I was still slim and trim. So all of that to say that when it comes to weight loss, fat loss, getting skinnier, it really is about the calorie deficit. That is the main thing. Keep the main thing the main thing. Keep it simple. Eat a bit less, move a little bit more, do what you can, do your best. Not every day is going to be a perfect day. Not every day will you stick to your diet plan or your calorie budget. That's life. There are celebrations, there are family dinners, there are outings, there are holidays. Try and make it a lifestyle so that you keep coming back to your plan. And if you do that over the period of a year, don't do a 12-week kind of get in shape transformation. Do this for a full year. 12 weeks is nothing. 6 months, you're doing better. But think of this as a lifestyle, as a commitment to your health. Include your fitness in there so you are thinking long-term health and fitness. And that is why I say protein for muscle gains, muscle growth. That is your longevity booster, is your muscle. Think of this also for your brain health. That's why movement is so important. All the studies show the benefits of exercise in offsetting the risk of Alzheimer's. And so I think of it as a whole package. What's good for your body, what gets you in shape, is also what's good for your longevity, your brain health, your bone health, your muscle quality. It's just win-win overall. And like me, even a walk, look at this, I'm out of breath, I'm panting, I'm walking uphill. And so don't discount the benefits of going for a walk. It is so simple. All you need is a pair of tackies. It can be Converse sneakers. You do not have to spend a whole lot of money. You don't need an expensive Garmin watch. You don't need any expensive equipment to go for a walk, ladies, other than a supportive bra. If you are big chested, please just keep the girls nice and supported. You don't need a lot of money to get lean and in shape. And in fact, I would argue that eating healthier will be cheaper because you will buy your own ingredients and you will prepare the majority of your food at home. And that is also a key to getting skinnier, in shape, lean, fat loss, whatever you want to call it. You must bulk prepare your food at home. The saying is true, abs are made in the kitchen, which means caloric deficit and making good, smart, healthy food choices. And if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So try your best. I know it's not always easy. Try your best to plan as many of your meals ahead as possible. Even if you don't have it all cooked, plan it out, write it out, know what you're going to eat the next day. And like I say, if you have an emotional day and you fall off your plan, that is okay. One day, one bad day out of a month is only 1 out of 28 or 31 days. Don't worry about it. 2 bad days, don't worry about it. Even 1 bad day in a week, that's only 1 bad day out of 7. But the more bad days you add in, now you are tipping the scales back towards fat gain. And again, not to say that fat is bad. This is not a moral issue. This doesn't mean anything about you as a person. Your weight is just your weight. It's just a fact. You have X amount of body fat on you, and you're the one who has decided that you want to lose it. So don't make it a moral issue. Don't make it about judgment. Throw out the guilt and the shame. It is very easy to gain weight, especially in this day and age, with all of the highly processed, highly palatable foods. The restaurants, you know, when I was growing up, we never ate out. We never had takeout. And that was in the late 70s, early 80s. There just didn't exist McDonald's. We just didn't have McDonald's and pizza delivery. I mean, now with Uber Eats and all of the pre-prepared meals in the supermarket, it is insane. When I was young and growing up, I used to walk and ride my bike to school. My mother had to cook everything from scratch. If we went out for a restaurant meal, it was a rare treat. And so, is it any wonder that we are steadily gaining weight? The accessibility and the convenience foods, it's just so much easier. And also, it has now become the norm. Order in, stop through the McDonald's drive-through when we are tired. All of us are also overworked, overstressed. The cost of living is going through the roof. I mean, inflation is crazy. I don't know what it's like where you guys are, but here it's so hard to keep up. So everyone is scrambling to make up that shortfall in salary and in pay. And so we are just feeling the stress. And what do people do when they're stressed? A lot of them want to eat. They want to comfort eat, emotionally eat. And very few of us think about going for a walk to relieve our stress. You know, very few of us think about deep breathing or meditating when we are stressed. Even though we know we can and we know we should, it's not at the top of our mind. So when we get home and we are feeling anxious, what do a lot of us do? We go to the fridge, we go to the pantry cupboard, we look for something crunchy, salty, fatty, sugary, carby, and then we sit and we relax. A lot of us also enjoy binge watching Netflix and eating. I know, it's a thing. It doesn't make you a bad person. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. But now, with this video, you want to empower yourself. You want to take control. You want to take charge. So now is the time to implement the habits that you know are going to set you up for long-term weight loss and fat loss success. Now, how strict you are will depend on your particular weight loss goals. If you want to get so lean that you can see ab lines and striations, well, then that's going to take a level of discipline, strictness, and lower calories. If you just want to lose those last few pounds, or you just want to start your weight loss journey, you don't need to be as strict. And this is the beauty of it. If you just want to maintain a rough weight loss goal and get into a decent shape, but you're not worried about a little love handle, a little bit of fluff, and you don't need to worry about that, that's up to you, then all you need to do in general is keep the basics in mind. Stick to a calorie deficit, so create a calorie budget in your mind that you know you get to spend every day. Work out roughly what that looks like. So track. Don't be afraid of the food tracking apps. They're not going to bite you. They're not here to guilt and shame you. They're here to educate you. Use them as a tool. See them as a friendly helping hand. When I got into shape for my first fitness competition ever, and in fact, even the next few competitions, there were no tracking apps. I had to rely simply on what my coach told me, on being strict and on weighing and measuring myself. It is so much easier with a food tracking app. Yes, it takes a little bit of time. It is a little bit of a pain in the ass. Do it for a few weeks. Just do it for a few weeks. Educate yourself. That's all you need to do. And you will start to see that what we consider a portion is probably enough to feed 2 or 3 people, except when they're trying to sell you the benefits of a product and then they claim that a portion is it's only got a little bit of sugar. Meanwhile, a portion is smaller than your fist. So just read labels. You must read labels. Please, ladies, don't be lazy there either. It's just about empowering yourself. Knowledge is power when it comes to this. And I know that there is so much information bombarding us. So whilst I tell you to educate yourself and learn, you've got to educate yourself by reading labels, using any food tracking app you like. It could be MyFitnessPal. Fat Secret is the one I use. I'm just comfortable with it. Anything. You can use anything. There are online calorie calculators. You can even just Google while you're in the grocery store. Type into Google how many grams of fat in this food, blah, 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 blah. Google is your friend. And so whilst you're going to arm yourself with knowledge, also don't overwhelm yourself. Take it step by step. Take it slowly. Get a bit of knowledge. Let it sink in. And don't overwhelm yourself with all the small details that a lot of the experts go into. I love it. I listen to a lot of it on YouTube, but that's because I've done fitness competitions. Health and fitness is like my passion. It's something I love. But for general weight loss, for general fat loss, just keep it simple. Calorie deficit, keep to your calorie budget, and do some form of exercise. And you will be ahead of the game. And try your best if you can to get quality sleep. If you have a bad night, don't worry about it. And then I would say some kind of stress relief. Those are the 4 things, really. Those are the 4 main things. And even those last 2, the sleep and the breath work, is not as important. So the most important thing for fat loss is calorie deficit, calorie deficit, calorie deficit. Within that, try your best to make healthy food choices. Protein first, fiber, fiber, fiber. Include enough carbs for energy and then a little bit of fats for cooking and flavor. That's how you set up your diet, and you set up your diet within your calorie budget. Then you find a form of exercise that you can stick to and do consistently for the long term. I would highly encourage you to do some form of weight training, which could also be called resistance training. So Pilates falls under that, calisthenics falls under that, anything where you're squeezing and resisting your muscle or you're pushing against gravity counts as resistance training. Running and walking also help with bone density, so don't discount those. But if you are a cardio bunny and you just love to run, walk, bike, swim, then just do that. Now lastly, I want to end off this video on a positive note. Remember, your attitude goes a long way in the success of your weight loss, fat loss, fitness journey. Try and make this fun. Try and get excited about it. Too often we moan and groan. We feel like we are denying ourselves. We feel like this is too hard. We want to give up. And yes, changing habits is difficult, but if you join a gym or you join a running club or you are with some kind of community who find health and wellness and fitness and weight loss exciting, you will be motivated. Surround yourself with people that are doing the same things if you can. If you can't find people in real life, there are many online groups, or you watch all of my videos. Join me on my walks. Play this video while you are going for your walk. Let me inspire you. But let me tell you, once you start seeing results, it is so motivating. It really is fun when you start to feel the benefits, when all of this pays off. So you're eating well, you're sleeping well, you're moving, and you start to wake up with vigor. You start to look forward to the day, you look forward to your exercise, your clothes fit better, you step on the scale and you're seeing the results, your waist measurements are coming down. It's a wonderful feeling. Please make it fun. Look forward to it. Put a smile on your face, run with a smile, lift your weights and smile. It will also make your workouts that much more fun. People may even come and talk to you and ask you, why are you having so much fun? And then you can inspire them on their journey as well. Eventually, you might become that annoying person who actually looks forward to waking up early and going for a run. Now, wouldn't that be awesome? Also remember that your body will do what you tell it to do, meaning if you tell it, let's get up, we're going to go for a run, we're going to weight train. I mean, it's very rare that we will overtrain. Most of us just don't have that time or the capacity. So don't be afraid of when you're not feeling like it, just getting up and going. Once you start your exercise session, you will probably enjoy it and get into it. And also with food, the body just responds to what you input. It is our emotions that often get the better of us. We eat out of an emotional need, out of boredom, out of stress, out of anger. And so I would encourage you, if you are into journaling, try and journal about your feelings rather than eating your feelings, and try your very best to not use food as a reward. I know it's hard because culturally we celebrate birthdays and we celebrate celebrations with food. And I'm not saying you can never have a piece of cake. Include those special occasions. Budget for them in your calorie budget, or just have a fuck it day with your calorie day. It's okay. But try your best to not reward yourself daily with food. Use going for a walk, use your meditation, use your deep breathing time as your reward. Have a hot bath, snuggle with your kids. Do other things to unwind, de-stress, and reward yourself. I wish you all the best, all the success on your weight loss journey. I will see you guys in the next video.